Ever looked at your dog sprawled out on the couch and thought, you'd be really good at, well, something? Like maybe a brain surgeon or a motivational speaker? Okay, maybe not brain surgery, but you know what I mean. Our dogs have so much personality, it makes you wonder what they'd be like with actual jobs. Well, get ready to laugh because today we're diving into the world of doggy careers. We're talking golden retrievers as life coaches, pugs as influencers. The possibilities are endless, people. And let's be honest, some of these pups are already more qualified than us, now hiring goodest boys and girls.
Let's be honest. Have you ever met a golden retriever having a bad day? Nope. They radiate sunshine and good vibes like furry little rays of happiness. If they had a job, they'd be those super positive life coaches you see on Instagram, the ones with perfect teeth and motivational quotes on their water bottles. Can you imagine a golden retriever giving a TED Talk? It would be amazing. They'd be all, "Believe in yourself, you are pawsome," and never underestimate the power of a good tail wag. And the audience would be in tears, inspired to live their best lives. They'd probably offer free belly rubs during their lunch break too, because that's just the kind of paw-sitive pups they are. They'd probably have a really catchy slogan too, like "Chase your dreams, not your tail." And their offices, forget about it. We're talking comfy couches, endless tennis balls, and maybe even a ball pit for those extra stressful days. Because when you're learning to unlock your full potential, you need a supportive environment. But don't let all the positivity fool you. These pups mean business. They're here to help you achieve your goals, whether it's finally finishing that knitting project you started 3 years ago or asking for that promotion you deserve. So if you're ever feeling down, just remember the Golden Retriever Life Coach motto: stay golden, my friends.
Next up, we've got German Shepherds. No nonsense, all business. You know the type. These dogs are practically born wearing tiny police uniforms. If they had a job, they'd be the top dog, pun intended, at the K9 unit, sniffing out crime and keeping the streets safe. But here's the thing about German Shepherds. They take their jobs very seriously. Like they'd probably write you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt properly. And don't even think about jaywalking when they're around. It's all about law and order with these pups. But there's one thing they take even more seriously than fighting crime belly rubs.
Now, let's talk about Bulldogs. They're the strong, silent type, the ones who don't need to bark to get their point across. They just give you that look, the one that says, "I'm judging you, but I'm also too tired to care." If Bulldogs had jobs, they'd be judges. They'd preside over courtrooms with an air of authority and a whole lot of drool. They'd listen intently to both sides of the argument, occasionally snoring softly before delivering their verdict with a yawn. And you know what? They'd be fair.
Labradors, everybody. You know them, you love them, and you probably secretly want to be them. They're the epitome of joy with their wagging tails, infectious smiles, and bottomless stomachs. Seriously, have you ever met a Labrador who wasn't hungry? These dogs don't just eat their food, they inhale it. Like they're in a race to see how fast they can lick the bowl clean. So, it's only natural that if Labradors had jobs, they'd be the world's most enthusiastic food critics. They'd travel the globe from five-star restaurants to street food stalls, sampling every delicacy imaginable. And you know what? They'd love it all. Their reviews would be legendary. This steak is so tender it practically melts in your mouth. 5 paws up, the aroma of this cheese is intoxicating. I could smell it a mile away. 10 out of 10 would sniff again. But it's not just about the taste for Labradors.
Get ready to hail a ride with the Dachshunds, everyone. These pups are short, speedy, and always maneuvering tight spaces. They're like the Ferraris of the dog world, low to the ground and built for speed. If Dachshunds had jobs, they'd dominate the taxi industry. They'd zip through traffic, weaving in and out of lanes with ease. They'd know all the shortcuts, all the back alleys, all the secret routes that only the locals know. But here's the catch. They might take the scenic route. A lot. Ah, Shih Tzus. The epitome of elegance, grace, and good hair days. Seriously, how did they get their fur so fluffy? It's like they just stepped out of a dog shampoo commercial. If Shih Tzus had jobs, they'd be the owners of the most luxurious dog spas in the world. We're talking paw dicures with real diamonds, fur conditioning treatments with only the finest essential oils, and massages that would make even the most stressed out pup feel like a million bones. Their spas would be havens of peace and tranquility, with soft lighting, calming music, and the faint scent of lavender in the air. They'd have names like Polish and the Furry Godmother, and their waiting lists would be longer than a Great Dane's tail.
Don't let our size fool you. Chihuahuas are a force to be reckoned with.
They're small, they're sassy, and they're not afraid to tell you what they think.
If we had jobs, we'd be talk show hosts.
They'd be the next Oprah, the next Ellen, the next, well, you get the picture.
We'd have our own shows, with catchy names like the Chihuahua Chronicles, and Barking Mad with insert Chihuahua name here.
Their shows would be must-see TV.
We'd interview everyone from celebrities to politicians to everyday heroes, all while perched on a stack of phone books behind our tiny desks.
They'd ask the tough questions, they'd dish out the gossip, and they'd always keep it real.
And can you imagine the wardrobe?
Chapter 8. Border Collies, the CEOs who never take a day off, because herding sheep is in their DNA. Border Collies everybody, the workaholics of the dog world. These pups are intelligent, driven, and always on the go. They're like the Energizer bunnies of dogs, except instead of beating drums, they're herding sheep, or squirrels. Or, if you're not careful, your children. If Border Collies had jobs, they'd be CEOs. They'd be running Fortune 500 companies, closing deals, and dominating the boardroom. They'd be the first ones in the office and the last ones to leave, always working on their next big project. Their offices would be sleek, modern, and efficient, with not a single item out of place. They'd have standing desks, whiteboards covered in graphs and charts, and maybe even a treadmill desk for those days when they just can't sit still. Chapter 9. Pugs, the influencers who know how to work the camera, and by work the camera, we mean sleep adorably. Pugs, everybody. Those little bundles of wrinkles and personality. They're the kings and queens of the side-eye, the masters of the underbite, and the undisputed champions of napping. If pugs had jobs, they'd be social media influencers. They'd be the stars of their own Instagram accounts, with millions of followers hanging on their every post. They'd partner with brands, promote products, and generally just be their adorable selves. Their Instagram feeds would be a thing of beauty. Think perfectly filtered photos of them lounging in sunny spots, wearing cute outfits, and generally just living their best lives. They'd have captions like "just another day, being fabulous, and living my best pug life," but here's the secret to their success: they don't even try. Chapter 10. Huskies, they'd be enthusiastic, that's for sure. Huskies, everyone. Those bundles of energy and fluff. They're the marathon runners of the dog world, the escape artists extraordinaire, and the vocalists you never knew you needed. Now, finding a job for a husky, that's a tough one. It's not that they're not capable, it's just, well, have you ever tried to tell a husky what to do? It's like trying to herd cats. They're independent, they're stubborn, and they have a mind of their own, which, don't get me wrong, is part of their charm. But it doesn't exactly scream model employee. Maybe they could be motivational speakers. They've certainly got the energy for it. They could run around the stage howling with enthusiasm and get everyone pumped up. Outrow, what job would your dog have? So, if your dog isn't bringing in a paycheck yet, maybe they're just waiting for the right career opportunity. Let us know in the comments. What job would your dog have? Would they be a CEO, a talk show host, a professional napper? We want to hear all about it, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tail-wagging fun. Because here at Your Channel Name, we're all about celebrating our furry friends and all their quirks. Until next time, stay pawsome, subscribe for more doggone fun.